everybody, it's Candy. Thank you for joining me today. I appreciate you tuning into this this particular video, because it is so, gosh, I guess you could say highly controversial. And so basically what we're going to talk about is urine therapy today. I'm not going to go into all of the details about it, because I'm just going to talk from my own experience and what happened with when I used it with my brother. And so anyway, where we're going to start is, last year my brother came out. He had diabetes, high blood pressure, all sorts of he had kidney failure, kidney disease, liver failure. He was just a big mess. He was quite overweight. He came out here because he needed help. The doctors were going to take his foot, and he did not want that happening, and he reached out for help. And so when he came out to Arizona from Alabama, I put him right on a raw foods diet. I just felt like it was like life-saving mode at that time. So we put him right on raw foods. He went right into it. When he got into the car, he said, "Here's my cigarettes," and he hasn't smoked since. So it's been over a year since he smoked, but he was a 2-pack a day smoker. So anyway, the raw foods really helped him to eliminate that habit, which was awesome. But anyway, so he basically went from as high as an A1C 16 down to 4.4. And all of that happened within about 5 to 6 months, to where he was able to get off all of his diabetes medication. Within 8 months that he was here, he lost 109 pounds. Along the way, he ended up on dialysis because all the detox was way too much for him to handle. His kidneys and his liver were just so damaged from all of the years of poor eating habits, all the animal proteins, and all the toxic foods and the heavy processed foods, the sugars, the drug use and the alcohol use over the years. He has been clean and sober for like 10 years, so he's doing fantastic with that, and I'm so proud of him. And so anyway, what happened was he ended up on dialysis during this 8-month process. And it was very intense. He was not, he would go to dialysis, and it was such a difficult time for him. He called it, when he would come back, he called it he was in his caveman state, where he was just like out of it, totally out of it. He'd get home and he'd just be like a zombie, and then he would be a zombie. He'd be angry. You just never know what was going to show up. He does have bipolar, but anyway, sorry, this is a lot. The dialysis really was intense, and I knew there was a way to get him off. I didn't know what the way was, but I was doing my research. I was praying. I did a lot of research. We did castor oil packs on his kidneys, and then we alternated days on his liver. And so if you want to look into that, they're really easy to do. It's a little messy, but there's videos on YouTube. You can look up castor oil packs. Basically, you put castor oil on your kidneys, and it draws out the toxins. And boy, it really helps a lot. So really look into that. And you do it on your liver. You don't want to do 2 areas back to back. So you can just do your research and learn about that, because it was so helpful. But anyway, so I knew there was more to getting him off dialysis. I knew there was, so I prayed. I just put it out there. I asked God. I said, "Okay, God, okay, angels, please, show me the right, show me something that's going to get my brother off dialysis." And so I started doing, I was led to a video by Dr. And Andreas Moritz. And he is a holistic doctor who's no longer with us, but he has a lot of videos out there. And he was talking about people on kidney dialysis. And he said that if you can get even, because people on dialysis, if they're on for a while, they are not urinating because the machine is doing all the work. So he said if you can just get some urine and start drinking it, that will work wonders. And I didn't even know the hows or the whys or the anything. I sensed and I felt my higher spirit, my God, my angels, my everybody, my team on the other side that's working with me in this lifetime to help not only myself heal, but to help others heal as well. So I was being told about this urine therapy. And of course, what runs through everybody's mind when they hear about urine therapy is like, oh my God, that's gross. It's it's a waste matter, all this stuff, and there's just so much more to it. I just invite you all to do the research for yourself. Okay, be open to this. If you have somebody on dialysis or if you are on dialysis, listen, okay, I'm just going to tell you what happened with my brother. So what I did was I started he was urinating this much. I don't even know how much this much is. But we had one of those urinal things from the doctor's office, from the hospital, and he would pee for me regularly throughout the 8 months, every other day, because I would check his urine for kidney filtration. So he was already doing this, and when he was on dialysis, he had this much urine. It was just filling it up like not even an inch, like a half an inch. Okay, so I took that and I put it in this mixture that I was giving him to help cure his liver problems, and it was ground up papaya seeds. You dry the papaya seeds, and then you put them in a mortar, pestle mortar, whatever they're called, and you smash up the papaya seeds and you squeeze lime in there, and so this is very powerful for healing your liver. So it tasted horrible. He would just kind of plug his nose and drink it. So I thought, you know what, it's just this much urine. I'm going to put it in there. So he won't even notice it. And he did give the okay when he arrived here. He said, you can do whatever. I asked him, I said, because I know I'm going to ask my angels, I'm going to have them coach me through this. And because every body is different, everybody is different, okay? So I didn't know what I was going to be led. I knew I was going to use raw foods and vegan foods. I knew that. But other therapies, I didn't know. So I asked him, I said, are you open to whatever I'm going to do for you? And he said yes. And so he agreed. Now, the urine therapy, I did not tell him. I kept it to myself because I knew that he would automatically have an aversion to that. I knew it. So I do. I mean, I did. Everybody does. It's just natural. So I thought, you know what? I'm trying to get him off of this lifelong prison sentence to being hooked up to a machine. And people die on dialysis. It's a death sentence, basically. You don't get off dialysis. People just don't get off dialysis. So I knew I had to do whatever it took. So I went ahead and did this urine therapy with him. So what happened was, the more I did that, so when he started peeing a little bit more, I had to start putting it in a smoothie because I couldn't, that little small little thing of the papaya seeds with the lime juice was too small. So I started putting it in his morning smoothies, and I did this every day. Guess what? He started peeing more and more and more and more, and he started filling up the entire urinal, filling it up. And that happened within 3 weeks. Okay, 3 weeks. Okay, it might have been 3.5. I don't remember exactly. I just remember that it happened very fast. And when I saw him, I just remember the day when he came out. Look at this. I'm filling this whole thing up. I said, we're getting you off dialysis. Okay. I did not know what his numbers were or his potassium levels or any of that nonsense, because you know what? I was feeding him banana shakes and putting dates in there, and dates have potassium. I was just like, you know what? It doesn't matter, because the doctors, especially the kidney doctor, they were saying, okay, don't have potassium, but have a lot of protein. Eat your meats. And I took pictures. We went into the doctor's office, the nephrologist's office, and they had this like poster board, and they had it in sections, and it said what you can eat while on dialysis, or what you can eat while having kidney disease. Okay. And what it was is it had McDonald's, it had Taco Bell, it had Kentucky Fried Chicken. Oh my gosh. And it had, I mean, can you believe it had chicken McNuggets. It had, oh my gosh, all these greasy, fatty, protein-rich, awful, fast food thing. It was unbelievable. I took pictures. I seriously have pictures. And it was just, I was in shock. I was in just total shock. And so here they are trying to tell my brother he can't have like sweet potatoes or bananas or all these things, all these healthy foods that, you know, because they have potassium. I'm like, that's ridiculous. It's just like, for me, I'm sorry, but that's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. We have to wake up to this. It's ridiculous. So anyway, we got him off dialysis. It was a fight. I mean, they were so upset. They did not want to get him off dialysis. It's a money-making deal. It really is a money-making deal. The nephrologists own the dialysis centers. This is something we all have to wake up to. If you have to do whatever it takes to get yourself off dialysis, and if it takes drinking your own urine, you know what? Drink it, put it in smoothies, add water to it. Whatever you have to do, just do it. And listen, I did it with my brother. Everything I tried with my brother, I did with my brother. I did everything, every treatment I did with him, right alongside. So listen, and I'm still doing it, and I've been practicing this for about 7 months now. You know, they say it's the fountain of youth. That's why they have those fountains around the world with a little boy peeing into the fountain, because for thousands of years, you know, it's been known to really help to heal our bodies of whatever is going on. So, I mean, why wouldn't God give us something free to heal ourselves, just like fruits, just like vegetables, just like herbs? You know, these are things that are given to us, that are made for us to heal ourselves and to nourish ourselves. So please, I'm going to put a link below. I'm going to put a link for Sunfruit Dan. He talks about urine therapy. For Andrew Norton Weber, he talks about urine therapy. And please just do your own research. I mean, there are so many things, and I'm not going to list them all because there's so much. There's stem cells, there's amino acids, there's biotin, there's calcium, dopamine, epinephrine, there's folic acid, there's iodine, magnesium, potassium, B6, B12, zinc. There's all these things in urine. You know, it is filtered. It is distilled water, okay? Don't be afraid to do this. You know, there's if you listen to Andrew Norton Weber, he talks about this woman who had a debilitating disease, and she had done a lot of research about the urine therapy, but was just so turned off by it. And she didn't start doing it until she was bedridden. And then she's like, okay, she surrendered, you know, and started doing it. And then she's healthy. And I will try to find that video of him talking about that. But you can go to his website, and there's testimonials, there's books, just do your research, okay? And By the way, that Water of Life Symposium, they just had that in California, and that was Anthony King. He was a big part of that. If you want to connect with him on on Facebook, he's one of my friends on Facebook, Anthony King. I think he's Anthony A.J. King. So if you want to look him up, human urine has been used in fertility drugs for a number of years, and people don't know this. Fertility drugs. And what happens when people go on fertility drugs? They have twins, they have triplets, they have quadruplets. There's power in this, and people are, doctors are making money with using human urine. So, and it's used in so many other things. So like I said, do your research. I'm just so passionate about this, and my brother really did not want me to talk about this before, but you know what? It's time. We have to talk about it. We can't stay in the dark. I mean, we just can't. And I will share more about this, Okay, so one thing I do want to say is, if you are going to try this, and please do your research. If you're a guy, you can just go ahead and pee in a cup and drink it and do your thing. Now, if you're a woman, you have to pee out 20% and then catch the midstream and then pee out the last 20%. There is no perfection here. You just have to kind of use your own internal guidance. Just start urinating, women, and when you feel it's 20%, collect midstream and then pee out the last 20%, okay? Listen, I'm doing it, and I'm excited to be able to, maybe a year from now, show some before and after pictures about how a raw foods diet, totally raw foods and vegan diet, and doing urine therapy can maybe turn back the clock. I don't know. We'll see. But, I know that this is helping me to feel younger and more vibrant. The raw foods really help with that. But the urine therapy, I've noticed so much. I've really noticed a lot of, pep in my step, and, just having a better vision in life. I'm getting just more clarity. I'm getting more psychic. I just did a watermelon fast, and I talked about how the watermelon fast really helped with that as well. So like I said, raw foods and adding this as an extra little thing. How I started doing it, I started putting it in my smoothies, because there's a lot of fruit and everything in there, and so you don't taste it. And Andrew Norton Weber said, just really try to work into where you can drink it, without adding it to something. So I started adding water to mine. And then finally I said, you know what, I'm just going to go for it. And so I've gotten used to it, and you will too. So give it a try. Please let me know if you have any questions. Leave them in the comments. And I appreciate you all tuning into this video. And I love you all so much, and I just want to see everybody getting healthy and happy and enjoying life to the fullest. I love you all so much. Thank you for joining me today. And please subscribe if you haven't already, and share this video with any friends that you might think are a little crazy enough to give this a shot. And thanks again. Love you. Bye.